This week on the show, we have a guest in the house, but what we talk about is understanding the importance of knowing your value as a creator, be it an artist, be it an actor, be it a model, either way, knowing your value as a creator. And we get into some of the pitfalls that all of us creators fall into and battle with and get pretty candid about it. It's a really good show. It's a little bit longer than normal, but it's a good show. Check it out. Hey, what's happening, everybody? I am Pruitt. This is Everyday People doing everyday shit on all the podcast apps out there around this daggum world, as well as streaming live on YouTube. Thank y'all for being here. Hope you're doing well. Hanging out as usual with the one and only partner in crime, and you know my future teacher and all that over there, giving me notes and acting. Phoebe Pruitt, how you be?
I'm swell.
Excellent.
How you doing?
I am unbelievable as always, dear. Always. Other than my camera settings is a little underexposed, but I'll fix that momentarily. In the meantime, I want to take a moment to welcome our guest. I didn't put a lower third together for him because I was too busy doing other stuff. But we got a guest up in the house, Mr. Joe Esposito. Some of y'all know him as Ozone Nightmare. What's up, brother?
Sorry, hi.
Why are you apologizing?
Do not apologize for being here.
Come on,
we're
dude.
not. We're happy that you're here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm happy to be here. I just don't know. Hi, Cinder. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just trying to look slimmer.
Me too.
Magically conjure.
Yeah,
So we're over here doing the same thing. I'm trying to stretch everything out because you look at the photos for me, just like today, looking at the photos of this beautiful shirt I have on, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, look at all of that extra baby on the back of my sides and top. It's a whole child. It's an infant over here and an infant over here.
Are you kidding me?
But I am working on it.
You're working on it.
Googly muggly, how much it takes no time to put that shit on. But it's harder to get rid of it.
This is true.
I don't like it aging.
What she's talking about, that shirt, let me see if I can show the screen here. So if we do that and then do that, this is the shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Created by the one and only Ozone Nightmare himself. Thank you so much.
Yay!
It's so
awesome. I love
graphic.
it so much.
I'm happy to do it.
I'm so excited.
The freaking detail on this thing, dude.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, it's just so awesome. It's so beautiful. Fantastic podheads making their way in the world today.
Real freaking talk. Real talk. But anyway, thank y'all. Everybody popping in here live on YouTube. Please do us a solid and hit the like, share, subscribe button, all that good stuff so YouTube will show us some love. Joe came to town on a visit just because he can, and I'm glad that he's here. And
yes,
he also challenged me. If you're in our Patreon community, I mentioned that I was challenged to watch a particular movie. We ended up watching two movies, but one of them, that one that I posted in Patreon, dude, as I said in there, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. That's challenging. That's about all I could say.
Challenging, aka great.
Great how?
And I will hear nothing
great
else.
How? Please explain how this movie is great. First, what was the name of the movie and how was it great?
I will distill this as much as possible. The movie has two different titles, possibly three. The one that most people would find.
There's a start right there. So how is this so great?
3 titles.
This is not uncommon with foreign films that they have multiple titles. In fact, American films often have multiple titles in other countries. So it's called Yes, Madam, or In the Line of Duty 2, The Super Cops, which is a stupid title. But the first one is better. And it has Michelle Yeoh before she was Michelle Yeoh. And it has Cynthia Rothrock, who is one of the most magnificent women who still exists. She's still alive and she is still making films. I just backed one of hers on Kickstarter. And oh, she's great.
Wow,
she's
dude.
Great. And it is a Hong Kong action film. It's a lot of martial arts and a lot of silliness. So if you can stand those two things together, as you said, Mr. Pruitt, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it ain't all me.
That's the thing. It is 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Well, actually, this one is wrong. The one that I looked at earlier, it showed it as 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Again, because of the weird freaking titles. Because this says Super Cop 2. Y'all see the screen, right?
Yeah, I think that may be Yes, Madam, actually technically 2, which was Super Cop 2.
Oh, jeez. Yes.
I cannot control how movies work. I'm sorry.
There it is. That's the one.
Yes.
100% Rotten Tomatoes. And this was the one we watched with this logo right here in the middle of the screen. So, yeah, it was interesting. I'll say that, Joe.
Great.
Great is not the word that comes to mind, but sure.
It is the word. It is the word. I'm sorry. I guess I have a soft spot for watching two women beat the shit out of everybody they encounter.
Yes. That's what they did.
It was. I didn't hang out for that one.
She was the smart one.
But I did hear it.
But
I'm not the one. I don't do really good with the lips doing something and the sound doing something else. The dubbing, that I get confused. It bugs me. It's something I can't handle. It's like Biscuit going into the bathroom every time he hears the stove come on. It's the same thing.
No,
that's real.
It's not a movie for everybody. I'm not going to pretend it is.
You don't say.
But, honestly, neither is The Exorcist. There's people who won't watch that.
No.
Right? So I'm just saying. This
is true.
That if you are into this type of stuff, and I'll be honest, I do have a particular kind of chip for Cynthia Rothrock movies because I feel like she was very overlooked because she was a woman at a time when everybody wanted male, greased up, oiled action stars that looked like Arnold or Stallone.
Yeah.
And so she was an exceptionally talented woman, as there were many exceptionally talented martial artists who were male and female that nobody cared about in America because all they wanted was Conan. And I love Conan, don't get me wrong. I mean, this guy's swinging a sword like I wish I could, but still.
That whole era was like all macho stuff. That was the big draw. That was the big ticket seller, right?
Yes. Yeah. And so that's my thing and I feel like she was just overlooked. And so I will root for her all the time and I will promote her stuff all the time because I think she's actually a pretty decent actress. Not all martial artists are. And I think that true. Being able to jump off a wall and do a kick is just, I can't even imagine putting my foot on a wall and not falling over at this point in my life. So, that's
for
why.
Sure.
So I am a cheerleader, I admit.
Cinder fractal grease is the word, she says. It's so funny.
Oh my goodness.
So funny.
It sounded like that she said Enter the Dragon. We'll do a remake of Enter the Dragon. It sounded like The Last Dragon was playing in the background. It's an old school movie. Very old. Now that's a B movie.
Well, this crowd knows it. Trust me.
I love The Last Dragon. I mean, who's the master, Leroy?
Show enough.
That's it. I mean, come on. But see, but you're talking about is what I'm talking about, which is movies of this era when people were doing practical stuff. I have a soft spot for that.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I get it now.
And I say the same thing about a lot of films. What was the one? There was one with Jim Brown. Oh man, I can't remember.
I'm going to get you, sucker.
No. Three. I think it's Three the Hard Way.
Yeah.
And see, most people haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, that's a purely black-driven action film, and it's exceptional. Yeah. I ranted about that one on my show for at least an hour.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, why do I never hear about this movie?
Yeah.
So
that's the truth. I've heard of it, but it wasn't necessarily pushed on me.
It's great. I mean, it is in many ways, I feel like a precursor to what was the Michael J. White film? Black Dynamite. Oh my God.
Black Dynamite was hilarious.
It was like the serious version of Black Dynamite because it's basically the same type of thing where they find out that this evil white guy is trying to basically kill anybody who's not white.
Yeah.
And then Black Dynamite is the funny version of it, which is, boy, I love Black Dynamite too.
Yeah, that one was hilarious. And I mean, he's a damn good athlete, and he's also a really good actor too. Michael, what's his name? Michael Jai
White or Michael
White.
J. White. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for some reason, he doesn't get a lot of stuff either, and I don't know why, because he's really good.
If I'm thinking right, I believe he's getting a lot of. Damn, I turned the exposure even lower. I think he's getting a lot of.
Well done.
I think he's.
I'm
getting,
like, I can't see anything over here for you. I see a little bit of your teeth.
Teeth and eyes.
At this angle, I was like,
just
maybe
teeth
if I move over. No, it's still
just
dark
teeth and
over there
eyes, man.
too.
Teeth and eyes.
Wow, you need a break.
But he. But if I'm thinking right, he's getting a lot of. Credits like in the producing side and executive producing
Well,
side.
that's what he wants. Good.
Recently,
I wish I saw more of him, because I've watched some B movies that I guarantee almost nobody's seen, and he's really good in them.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, most of the other people aren't. Maybe that's why nobody knows, but he's consistently good.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see more of him, because, I mean, Black Dynamite should have been an Eddie Murphy role. That should have been a Beverly Hills Cop for him.
Facts. Yeah.
That
makes sense.
And I don't know why it wasn't. And I mean, I don't think it's the obvious, because I think that stuff is I think there's been a recognition, and that's changed. I don't know. I mean, look, racism ain't going anywhere. It's 2025.
You don't
obviously.
say.
But what I'm saying is, I think that the days of not I mean, look at Sinners. What's the Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah.
Like, okay, that name is known.
Yeah.
Like, that's not you have to watch certain movies. You know Michael B. Jordan at this point.
Yeah.
Why is Michael J. White not the same?
This is true.
I have no explanation. Unless he intentionally
he's been in
wanted
the game longer.
Like I said, unless he decided that maybe it was easier to be behind the camera. Some actors do that. If that's the case, good for him. If not, that sucks. If it's because they just didn't want to give him roles.
But then there's also the aspect of just being that producer side and executive producer side is more lucrative too.
Sure.
Especially when it comes to the mailbox money.
And that's what I mean about if what he's trying to do is maybe get other people to rise up through what he's doing, great. If it's his choice, I'm not complaining. If it's not, is where I'm complaining. And I don't know the actual background on that, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Word.
The one piece of movie trivia I don't know.
Hell is freezing over as we speak right now.
Oh my.
Oh, let's see if my camera's exposure is right now. Hey, that's looking better. That's looking better.
Your shirt is brighter from this angle.
Yeah, but it's better. Exposed.
Is it working itself out or something? Or are you doing little things?
I have manual exposure, so I have to tell it to, it's set now. It's done.
Oh, okay.
We're good. This is Everyday People Doing Everyday Shit. I am Ant Pruitt. Thank y'all for being here on whatever podcast app you use, hanging out with the one and only Queen Pruitt, sitting right there, Phoebe Pruitt, and special guest this week, my man, Mr. Ozone Nightmare, Joe Esposito. We're going to pause 1 second for a quick commercial break to help get a few dollars to pay a bill. So stay right there. We'll be right back after this. And we are back, everyday people doing everyday shit on whatever podcast app you enjoy. Thank y'all for being here. Ant Pruitt here, hanging out with Phoebe Pruitt and Joe Esposito, special guest. Mr. Joe Esposito.
Speaking.
I have been on your show a couple times now.
3 or 4 at least.
A couple times now. So
we did 2 Maxes. You did a guest, and then I think the first one where I just talked to you in general. I'm pretty sure.
Really? It's been that many?
I think it's 4.
Damn, dude. Yeah. Well, thank you. While someone is sitting over there posing for social media, I want to ask you a little bit more about you and let everybody else know that listens to this show. Give them the opportunity to learn more.
I'm not posing for social media. I am trying to get a photo of my shirt.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Incidentally, as a side note, in the Patreon for this show, I will put the YouTube video of the time lapse of that image early. So I have it unlisted, so I'll post that link.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, brother. Thank you. So what I wanted to do is let you tell folks a little bit more about yourself. I've mentioned before that you do a show, Ozone Nightmare, and Ozone Foundry, your YouTube channel, but who are you? You just an artist? What are you? Just some guy that's got a lot of free time on his hand to watch movies?
Yes.
Who the hell are you? And are you Bay Area? Give us the elevator pitch of who you are.
Oh God.
And don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Why? Oh God.
know how to talk about myself
It's
that way.
hard.
I mean, it's just not in my nature.
You need to be interviewed like an interview. Like if we have questions for you, go by like Shannon Sharp does. Just do an interview thing. Like, so tell me this.
No, let me ask you a question.
Let me ask you a question.
I genuinely think I am the most. This is so weird to try to talk into the mic, but turn so I'm not just looking that way. So I hate the idea of people that don't look at the person they're talking to. So I'm trying to like crane my eyes.
Don't
You know what I
worry
mean?
about it. I know who you're talking
But
to.
I'm generally, I don't find talking about myself interesting, so I try not to do it. But in general, I am a artist. I went to school for it. And I started the podcast that I do when I was really pissed off about the fact that I felt like a failed artist. And for whatever reason, it kept going. That's really, if I were a tree. Cinder, the tree thing don't work for me. I don't know what tree I'd be. I don't know why. I'd have branches and leaves, I guess, because a tree does.
I like that. Cinder Fractal, she says, if you were a tree, that's a nice little icebreaker. I like that.
I like the tree that's kind of got the light white color and has smooth bark, whatever that is. I don't know what that tree is, but I always like it because it looks like veins that have like lost all their color because I'm a weirdo. But really, that's what it is. It's I was a creative individual. I'm the only weirdo in my family.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, is it a family thing?
No, nobody's like me. Nobody is like me in my family. I'm pretty sure I am the only male with long hair. Well, technically long hair. At the time I had. I'm the only male with a ponytail.
There is a technicality, folks.
That's a huge technicality. I mean,
Why is that?
Well, unfortunately, I lost my grandparents on my father's side pretty early, but my understanding is my grandmother could draw.
Okay.
And there are people in my family who can do calligraphy. They write beautifully.
Yeah.
But I don't, there's nobody in my family I'm aware who's as artistic as I am and is as strange as I am. And I don't know why. The only thing I can think of, there's only one explanation I could come up with, honestly. Which is, was the milkman created?
Cinder Fractal was the milkman creative. Come on.
Thrown off all the way off the game.
As far as I am aware, my parents were always together, and I never saw them arguing in any way. Now it's possible. I can't rule anything. No, don't be sorry. I don't know.
That's funny.
You know, it would make more sense than just I'm like this. Yeah. So I'll give you that. But my mother told me a story, and this might be a lead paint thing, because my mother used to do ceramics.
Okay.
Like similar. She used to paint. She used to do really beautiful ceramics when she was younger. And I guess there was some point where I must have been really young because I was in a high chair. And she's working on one of these ceramic things, and she must have slammed her arm without realizing down on the red paint that she was using, which apparently fired into my mouth. And she didn't realize it for a minute or two, and she turned around and saw me and just saw the red and thought that I was bleeding, like that something was wrong, right? But I guess I was making a weird sound.
Where's Scorsese?
I'm telling you. And I guess I was making some kind of gurgling sound because I swallowed a bunch. And so they had to give me like castor oil or whatever you gave kids back then.
To make you puke.
To make me throw. And apparently a big wad of red paint came up. So maybe there was a lot of lead in it and it seeped in.
Changed his life.
Change your life to be a creative.
You know, but I always was different. And it's just kind of seeped into everything. And so, the show, and luckily Lando's a wacko too, except he's in much better shape and he dresses way better than I do. So once I recruited him, I mean, it really just became.
Okay. As someone that listens to that show, I'm not going to call him a wacko just yet.
Well, compared to me, I guess he seems more normal. That's true.
Maybe that's what it is. It's the comparison.
Yeah.
Hearing the both of you on the mic, it's definitely night and day. You know,
it's
contrast
true.
Between the both.
I mean, he's also a parent. I'm not. He has a very different background than I do. He's Cuban. Has a much different family dynamic than me. So maybe his family is flamboyantly interesting, and maybe his response to that was to become more normal, whereas mine was, my family is all like straight line people.
Yeah.
And so mine was, okay, this is how I'm going to be, I guess. But But it's funny you say this though, that because I was thinking the other day, there was a question I was going to ask the two of you, but I don't know if it really works, which is there a sentence that you can come up with that when you tell somebody, you say this sentence, it sounds completely normal to you, but anybody who doesn't know you would go when you say it. I'll give you an example. Or you got one?
No, I'd have to think because
I need an example.
It's a lot of stuff Southerners say.
All right, here's the example. Well, here's the example. I once, a dominatrix I was friends with when I was younger, once asked to borrow one of the gas masks in my collection to do a show at a club where she was being hung by hooks. Now, when you hear that...
Wait a minute.
Yeah, no, I don't think I have one of those.
Okay.
I don't have anything cool like that. I'm pretty sure if I would sit and think, but I don't know if it...
Okay. I was curious.
Wow,
But if it comes out like that, that's exactly how it is. It's not like...
It's completely normal to me because it was.
But you did have a dominatrix to do those things to hang.
No. That's nothing that I'm into. No shame. Whatever. Do whatever you want. I don't care. But no, she was just a friend of mine. She made a lot of money out of New York City. Let me tell you, Wall Street people.
You bet. Yeah,
they ain't so normal after the stock exchange closes.
Okay, so it really happened with her too. I thought it was just like just a sentence that you say that sounds worse than what it really is.
No. What's interesting is most people don't fixate on the dominatrix part. They say, "Why did you collect gas masks?" Exactly. And I don't have an explanation for that, except that I just liked them.
It's like an onion, man. There's layers all in that, bro.
Yeah, I still have 3. I've gotten rid of most of them because I just, they take up space.
Gosh.
But yeah.
Do me a favor and rotate your mic down just a touch. No, not that. Oh, rotate it down.
Laughing gas.
Like that.
There you go.
Good.
Let's keep it there for a moment. See how that sounds.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, I've have said things in the past that I think is just a Southern thing.
Okay.
So I'm thinking she would get it, and people around here wouldn't. But I can't think of anything off the top of my head though.
I say. Well, were you talking about the little sayings like "Good Lord willing and the creek don't rise"?
I've heard that one.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I'm not from the South.
Stuff
That's
like that.
Cool.
But I can't really think of nothing else.
I'm full as a tick. I'm so tired.
Yeah, that one.
I haven't heard that one. No, that's new. But that's what I mean about when you're asking, like what. To me, there's nothing abnormal about that sentence, and nothing that I think about how I am seems abnormal, but then I look around and I'm like, why are people's eyes so wide? And they're looking at me and I'm like, I told you when John Helm was down here, I said, most people think I'm on drugs or drunk or something. And I'm not. You asked me on the phone if I wanted what kind of wine. And I said, I don't drink because I don't drink.
Yeah. He said he did not want any, didn't really care because he doesn't really drink.
I don't.
But I do remember being at dinner with you and you telling us that HR pulled you in because they had concerns.
Every job, I think, but one, at some point, they've been like, oh, you did a drug test, right? I'm like, yeah, I'll do a drug test every day. And I'll pass it every day.
Because I'm not on drugs and I don't drink.
But the funny part is, I'm always the one where people are like, oh, yeah, Joe, that one. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Jeez, dude.
Y'all want me there.
This dude, he kills me.
And it's just natural to you.
Absolutely
I think that's pretty
kills
cool.
me. Absolutely kills me. So, you said your parents wasn't creative, but well, not as creative as you are, but your grandma.
My grandmother apparently was a painter of. I've never seen anything. Mm-hmm. I never did see anything that she drew or painted, but that's what I was told. I remember there was one picture in her house that I think she did. That was kind of a portrait thing, which is interesting because I suck at portraits. So I have to grid them. I can't just look at somebody and do their face. I have to block it.
That's not unusual though. Gridding it's not unusual.
No, it's not. But I mean, the way it was described to me is that there are people who can look at a face and they can just do it. Like caricature artists, they're doing it exaggerated, but they can figure out those features and they can key in on them. And I can't do that.
Yeah.
But she's the only one. I mean, my father was a carpenter. So that was his gift was with his hands and being able to understand how things were constructed and put them together and take them apart. That was what he did. But nobody else that I know of does visual arts the way drawing, painting, that type of thing that I'm aware of. That's alive anyway. So no, I don't know where it came from.
Wow, dude. And so
But you're excellent.
Well, I appreciate it.
And you like doing it too.
I do like doing it.
It's a relaxing thing.
It is partially a relaxing thing. It's also kind of, especially with the streams, I really do feel like creative people are underappreciated. And I feel like the things that are valued in the world monetarily and also just generally are the wrong things. It's what's in your bank account. Well, I don't care what's in your bank account. What are you contributing to the world that makes somebody else respond in some way? Mm-hmm. And that's where I want people to be creative in whatever way they can. And that's my message generally is, hey, just draw something. Even if you're not good at it, who cares? Somebody will like it. And so it's relaxing, but it's also kind of a thing where it's like, and I show on my streams, I make mistakes all the time. It's not because I think some people think that you just draw something and it comes out perfectly. No, it doesn't come out perfectly.
Never.
No.
Never.
I've screwed up potheads.
Well, that's what I mean, right? And so that's the other thing is,
We'll tuck you deep down under here. I might come back and try to fix it later.
but that's the thing. You come back and fix it. And that's what I mean is you can still create something wonderful out of a mistake. And so not getting it perfect is not what people should aim for. That's not the goal. The goal is to express something and to end up with a creation of whatever kind that somebody else responds to. And it can be as simple as one person. But if like this shirt is a perfect example, this image. I think it was when I first got on the Blue Sky, because the only thing if there's anything I'm going to be known for by anybody, really, it's going to be that I did a couple of magic cards. Mm-hmm. And there was a trans woman on there.
Hold on. Let's pause for a second there. Magic cards.
Yeah, I want to know what that is.
I know what those are.
But I don't.
She doesn't know, and I'm sure most people listening to this show won't know what magic cards are.
Okay, you know what Pokemon is, right? The cards.
I've heard of them, yeah.
It's a similar thing. Imagine that it's Pokemon cards, but Dungeons and Dragons is grafted onto it. And that's as much as I understand, to be honest, because I never played it. So
good enough.
Yeah.
Good enough.
But Hasbro contacted me and had me do these cards, which was just completely wild to me because they found me. I was not doing anything that would get any attention drawn to me that I'm aware of.
So I'm going to stop you right there. They found you because you're putting it out there, number one, and somebody else has probably shared your work, and it just, it's that whole trickle down effect. And when people share art, that's the potential,
And that's what I mean about do something and put it out there, even if you don't think it's great, because you don't know what somebody thinks is great.
Somebody might dig it, just put it out there. If you dig it and it makes you feel good after you create it or what have you, feel free to share it to the world if you want to. You don't have to, but it's not going to hurt. It's sharing it to the world. I promise you that.
Yeah. So when I first went on Blue Sky, I had the card image of this. Children is the name of the character as the banner. And this woman contacted me and said, hey, that's really, this is really wonderful. And this is something that apparently I didn't know any of this because I was so completely in the dark on the magic stuff. But apparently a lot of people in the LGBTQ plus community respond to certain magic characters, and Shieldred's one of them because she's this powerful kind of character that changes form, I guess. So there's something to that. And she said this really beautiful message to me about how wonderful the character was and how much she loved it. And she said, do you have anything like shirts or anything? And the thing is, with the original art, Hasbro doesn't allow you to do anything but sell prints of it, even though they don't sell shirts or anything, which is so bizarre to me, but you just can't do it. So I said, well, I have this variant version, which is what this is. That's a similar. I said, I can, let me put the colors, this unity flag colors, which is what these colors are. I said, let me put this on there and I'll put the shirt up and you can buy it. And I said, the only thing I'm asking in return is please send me an image when you get it. And she sent me an image of it and she was so happy. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, man, if I accomplish nothing else, that's it, man. I don't care whether, don't get me wrong. I'd love paychecks, but
I know that feeling too.
Yeah. It's great, man. There's nothing like it. And that's what I'm saying. It's just crazy. That's all you got to achieve is that one thing. And you don't know what's going to connect with people. So do that stuff. And that's why in my stream, I say, reach out to people, even if you can't support them monetarily, because everybody seems to think if you can't donate money, don't bother. I'm like, no, just like what they like.
Freaking do the signal boost on stuff, man. The signal boost, the reshare, that stuff goes a long
Send them an email
way.
saying your work is great.
Yeah.
That one sentence could make somebody's day who's struggling and who knows how.
Now, knowing your background, did you think it was spam when you got that email?
Absolutely. Oh, I got this email and I went, yeah, sure, of course. Yeah. Magic wants me, who can't paint, because most of the Magic stuff is like painted. It's really wonderful fantasy art.
Yeah.
I'm not a fantasy art guy.
Yeah.
And I never have been. So I'm like, there's no way. Why would these people come to me? My style doesn't match anything. And how would they know about me? Yeah, Behance, but sure, there's how many thousand artists have years of work on there that's more like what they want. So I looked up the person, the creative director's name, and sure enough, this individual was listed in their directory. And I went, okay. And so I was like, all right.
You did the diligence.
Yeah, I just the basics of this person exists. And so I said, okay, sure. What are we talking about here? And then I started getting information on, this is how much we pay, and there's a kill fee. And I'm like, okay, these are terms I know.
Yeah.
Which are not things that some random.
That's business talk there.
I'm
bro.
like, okay.
That's real.
So I'm like, yeah. And then this is, and I've said this before, so I apologize. I doubt anybody's heard me tell this story before, but there was a point where they said, how many cards do you want to do?
Yeah.
And I froze up because
you're not sure.
Yeah, I'm like, do I say 10 because why not? But can I do even one? I have no idea how to do this. And I said 3. And I said, oh, great. Okay. And I really didn't even know if I could do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to just working whenever I'm working. I'm not used to working to a deadline.
Well, the thing is, at least you didn't under-deliver,
No, I was...
Because that would have been pretty problematic for you.
I did something I don't ever do, which is I set a schedule. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to make sure I hit these markers, and I'm going to check in with her every couple days and make sure nothing's going on, nothing's changing. Luckily, I think the deadline on one of them got pushed back, so I had a little extra time. But that was really the biggest panic, is after they said, okay, here, sign this. And I'm like, I have to do these now.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens if they suck? I mean, what if legitimately they suck?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not like I look at Mark and I'm like, oh boy, that's some fine work you did there. No, I don't know. So that's what I mean about, you don't know where it's going to go. But man, I was panicking for a couple days.
The beauty of it is this: you have this experience, and now when the next time rolls around, you're ready. You're more ready. Yeah. I'm not going to say you're ready. I'm going to say you're more ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
that is the thing, is at least I have a frame of reference now. Doesn't mean that I'll necessarily know exactly what I'm going to do, but I know that if they're clear with what they want and what the timelines are, and we have a method, then I'm confident I can at least give it a good shot. And if they don't want it, as long as there's a kill fee involved, they're still getting paid. So
now, what is kill fee? I know we're getting too technical. What is kill fee?
It's if they don't end up going with whatever the final thing is. And there was a fourth card.
Oh, okay.
So in my case, there was a fourth card, and I did some work on it. And what they realized was they were revising the character, and so what they had given me wasn't going to fit. But they still paid me basically a full amount. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It was no failure on my part. They decided to go in a different direction. So, and I told the woman I was working with, I'm like, I'll tell you right now, I have no feelings. You tell me this thing sucks and it's got to change. You tell me the thing sucks and it's got to change.
They did the right thing and paid you for your time spent.
Yes.
Which is what most people should do, is pay you for your time spent.
And I genuinely expected it to be a nightmare, because I'm not affiliated. I don't have agents. I'm not a big name. So I was like, they're going to take forever to pay me, and this is going to be a nightmare. But honestly, I felt like even if that had happened, if I didn't at least try this, then I would have no, again, frame of reference if another one comes along. And if it works out, great, which it did. And the people that have come from it are fantastic. This is one of the best communities that I know nothing about, but they're all really nice people.
Yeah.
I just can't answer their questions. They're like, well, would you use this in a commander deck against us? And I'm like,
dude, I don't play the game. I have no idea.
Yes. I don't know. So
that's so cool. We're hanging out today here, everyday people doing everyday shit. Myself, Aunt Pruitt, Phoebe Pruitt, Queen Pruitt sitting over there in the corner, and also hanging out with Joe Esposito. Y'all may know him as Ozone Nightmare. Appreciate y'all being here, hanging out with us. I see Clarence Brown has joined the chat too. He came in late, so we're going to give you a demerit for being late. But thanks for being here. We're going to take one more half-second break, so y'all stay right there. We'll be right back after this. And we're back, everyday people doing everyday shit. Aunt Pruitt hanging out on the mics with you all, doing whatever it is we do on these mics on this off the wall, sometimes interesting podcast here. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you also to our Patreon community that comes and checks us out each and every week and every day of the week in the Patreon community. You can join the extended family yourself for free. Go to patreon.com/Aunt Pruitt and feel free to join for free, or you can join with one of the paid tiers. Either way, we're glad to have you in there and have a lot of fun chit-chatting. As a matter of fact, after this show goes off air, I'm going to share some more stuff in there that happened today before it goes public. But thank y'all for being here. We're hanging out today with the one and only Ozone Nightmare, Mr. Joe Esposito, who happens to somehow figure out a way to do a super chat.
Why are you sitting here?
I planned this out.
Like,
I knew what I was doing.
How do you do a super chat sitting here on the mics? He says, great seeing you both on the mics, but if dump the third wheel...
what?
If dump the third wheel this week.
It should have been just dump the third wheel.
Just dump the third wheel this week. Nice try.
Whatever.
Poor typos. Looks like kind of a bozo who you'd have watching a bizarre foreign martial art film with an awful dubbing.
He sure does. You nailed it.
You look like that guy. Yeah, you do look like that guy.
I do, and I am.
Oh gosh. So Joe came to the house to visit, and the plan was.
Yes,
I didn't mention
Clarence
this.
is spotted.
I didn't mention this in the introduction, but we had worked on this stuff.
Oh, you can use it for anything you want.
We had worked on this meetup weeks ago, and he said, "All right, I need to show you some movies." And I'm like, dude, I've heard the movies that you've talked about, and I still have a disc in there called Stalkers that I got about 20 minutes through. No.
Stalker by Andrei Tarkovsky. Excellent film, but it's 3 hours of almost nothing, but it's beautiful. You should watch it.
3 hours of almost nothing.
Baby, I got through 20 minutes and tapped out.
By the way, I'm gonna say something.
Real talk. I tapped out. I'm like, Joe, what the hell, bro?
I'm gonna say something. I have relayed that story to people that you tried it for 20 minutes and quit. And everybody's like, what? He only gave you 20 minutes? And I said, no, he tried. It's not for everybody. I respect the fact that he even fired the thing up.
Yeah.
I mean it, man. It's not for everybody. You tried it. I don't blame you for quitting. That opening can be...
It was out there, bro.
A bit much.
It was out there. It was out there.
But you have to admit, I showed you that one shot.
Yeah, that one sequence you showed me is absolutely beautiful.
And there's many like that. The problem is there's a lot in between where you have to sit there and go, oh, wow, it's a woman writhing on the floor yelling in Russian. Right.
See, do you hear that description?
But that's really the opening and the ending only. The middle. Hey, look, Cinder says, try it, you'll like it.
Title.
Thank you,
Try
Cinder.
it, you'll like it. That's a good show title.
It is.
Try it, you'll like it.
You have to try. What is it? Try at least twice.
I'm not going back. If my soundboard was working, you'd hear that. But no, I'm not going back, dear. So we planned this out, and he said we was going to watch some movies, and we had 2 on deck. We watched Prey, which was on Hulu, and it was really good. I'd seen the thumbnail for it, but never clicked on it, and
me either.
Never really thought anything about it. But
probably
I
never
it.
would have.
It was really
without
good.
your suggestion, and that one was good.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was legit.
It kept my attention.
And
the whole movie.
And if you go to Hulu, you can watch it there. Even if you have the lower tier ad version or what have you, it should still be available because it is a Hulu production. It's theirs.
Are you
right?
a Predator? Have you seen the Predator movies before? Or is this the first one?
No.
Good.
That's back in the day, forever and ever.
I was just curious.
Ever ago. Yeah. That was when it was scary.
And see, it works even if you haven't seen it. And that's what tells you it's a good movie. Because if you don't have to rely on the ones that came before, which way too many sequels and other crap does, then it's obviously a good movie. So I'm really happy
so
you had
it's related to Predator?
Oh, yeah. They're all the same aliens. It's a different alien, but it's the same species of alien.
It was the same species. It was, the same backbone in the movie.
Yeah, fundamentally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was really well done.
Yeah, because
really
I don't remember the details of Predator. I didn't know he was invisible.
Yeah, I remember all that.
I didn't know all those details.
So yeah, so cool back
only thing that I could tell was the framing of the body and the head and the shape.
Well, really, and it's the only similarities really are in this movie were the invisibility and the dreadlocks. Yeah. That's the two things that are almost identical to the first movie. The rest of it they've revised. But like I said, the thing that I actually like is that you haven't seen it because that means the movie works. Yeah. You have to rely on the other movies. I don't know. It's like, all right.
Yeah. That's true.
But it was good. Check that out on Hulu when you get a moment. And then, of course, we watched that other movie that we will keep nameless for now.
Yes, madam. I will not keep it nameless because
it's got a couple names.
Yeah.
You can choose whichever one.
All I'm saying is I'm not trying to give it any more airtime right now from what we gave it earlier in the show. So, but what else we got into today was lunchtime. And this dude, he warned me, and I said, well, I don't know if it's going to work. He said, well, if you got a patio, I can bring my pizza oven. And you think I'm going to tell him no?
Right.
The thing, can I tell you, I wanted that to be a surprise. And then I thought about it. I'm like, if they don't have a place to set it up, I'm going to drag all this stuff up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had that. It was still a surprise.
I was this close to just saying, screw it. Just show up with it and it could just stay in the car.
But it was still a surprise.
Oh my God. This thing here.
To me, because it was so delicious.
This is the quality of pizza that we got. This cat comes up in the house with his dough and rolling it out and bringing the sauces and the fresh cheese and all these salts and stuff. And
freaking delicious.
God, Joe, he absolutely killed it. I am
Italians, baby. We know food. Clearly.
Yes.
So freaking grateful, man.
And how to make it delicious.
It was delicious. We all know that she's gluten free and has the dietary restrictions, but be damned today.
It's worth that.
I did try to make a gluten free dough, and
there's no such thing.
Supposedly there is. I tried. It was a miserable failure. I did try.
I don't even think it's appropriate to ask if I were to go into an Italian restaurant or anything like that. I would feel really weird asking, do you have some gluten free?
You should. No, you shouldn't, because I know like the local place here has a cauliflower crust, and I've had one before, and they're actually pretty good.
Yeah, they are.
So you should not feel that you can't ask that. I mean, let me put it this way. You go into a place and you ask for something because you have an actual condition and they're going to treat you like shit, walk out.
No, that's true. No,
walk
I give you that.
out.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's all.
Hold on. We got somebody showing up in the live chat there. Raylan. He says biscuits legs.
Aww.
What's up, son? Good to see you here.
Hi, mijo.
Hope you're doing all right. I'm sure you are, because you hadn't sent me no panic messages or anything. So I'm glad you're doing well.
Jody, you hit it. It's got to be New York pizza. You are absolutely correct. Got to be.
It was so good. That little oven, literally, it's I don't know. You could hug it. It's not very big.
No. That's what I wouldn't have thought it could
happen. It could sit right on this middle couch and it'd still be That's about a little smaller than that.
It was very portable, but damn, that thing gets hot.
Just like you would in our big pizza oven, huge pizza oven. It was so good.
Oh gosh,
I'm way impressed. I wanted to eat more.
My wife's family, you hear jokes about people and their in-laws. I do not have that problem. They are spectacular people. For some reason, they like me a lot, and they all went in on that thing. And I was genuinely floored, because I'm like, you will never. I told them, just don't bother now. You're never going to top that. Yeah. That's it, man. You got me a pizza oven that I can use and do every weekend.
Yeah, that's the thing. He uses it every Sunday. He's on record and says every Sunday is pizza day.
I mean, you could tell me using it. I use it a lot because I know exactly what it's doing.
Yes. Knows how to move it, when to move it, counting.
He was counting out loud, wasn't he?
6, 7, 8. Twirl, twirl, twirl. 1, 2, 3. I'm like, he's got a whole song down for it. It's a whole choreography behind making this musical making pizza in the pizza oven.
Oh God!
Because that takes some skills.
But thank you again for that, man. It was delicious. I guess Jake's home now since Biscuit decides to run and bark. Before we came back from the break, you were mentioning, Phoebe, some thoughts about the creative process, and you had some questions.
Yeah, I was just listening to you talk about, put it out there just in case. Because I took the pictures of those planters, I finished them up, the potheads that I made out there. Yeah. But I don't know what this is normally when it stops. I'll take the photos and then I'll just leave them there and talk about the money that I need from them. But don't go, because I don't feel like people will pay what they're worth or what I feel like they're worth. And then I end up giving them away. Because I don't believe in it that much.
All right, well, that's the problem.
The problem.
Giving them away is, and I know, don't give stuff away for free generally, but if it's, there are promotional elements that, right? Like that, the shirt thing, you can use it as a logo. I'm not going to charge you. I had a blast doing it. I like the stuff you make. Just take it and use it, right? That's not the same thing as giving it away to somebody who's like a stranger or that should be paying for it. Yeah. That's the difference. Yeah. You can do favors for people, and you should when you can, especially if they need help and them. Yep. But giving away work, you should never do. You talk about don't work for exposure. Exposure is bullshit.
Exposure is bullshit.
You ever hear that word? Turn around, and like that restaurant that won't honor your diet, get the hell out. Yep. Gone. Yep. But no, I mean, it's my question for you is, how long have you been doing that? That type of thing, the pothead stuff.
I started those.
Was it 21?
2020.
2020. Okay.
Yeah, I started them in 2020, but they was just paint, just regular paint, no rhinestones, no extras, no 3D, just paint.
And when did the extras start?
When we got in here.
Really?
That one that's over there on the that I still have, it's yellow and green on the stand in there.
What do you want, dude?
When we moved in here, I decided I was just playing around with some. Where did that get them from? I don't know where I had them, but it was just a few that I had on that one, and I just put it around the neck a little bit. For a necklace is the way it started. Yeah. I was like, I'll make a rhinestone necklace, but then it ended up coming on down, and then I just kept going.
The
ADD. Yeah, and then I was like, oh, I really like this one, so I got some more. And what I've had, this is like my second big, huge. No, my third big bundle of them making them. When I say big bundle, it's more than 6 at a time.
That's a lot.
Because I took them down to where I get my hair done. But the other ones, what did I do with them? Because I've had a lot of them that I've made, probably gifts, because I wanted people to have them, and I didn't know if they would pay for them. So, but I've made a bunch even before getting to this level, because even the ones that I sold over there, weren't even to this level that they are now. They had rhinestones, but they had paper crowns. I've moved up from the paper crowns. I don't want to do the paper crowns, so I try to find bigger rhinestones or bigger textured or plastic flowers for the crowns and things like that, because I don't want to have any paper or anything like that on them.
Joe T in the chat says, Queen, you are valued. Get paid.
That's correct.
With an exclamation point.
That's
Damn
correct.
Right, Joe
Thank
T.
you.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate
Mr. Joe
it.
T.
I appreciate it.
Right.
I will. But I mean, it's I'm telling you, I'm listening to you talk about this art, and I see the value. This is really, really big. Really big for me. And then the shirt that you have on, I just want to go into it like, oh, see that? And it's a piece, because it's a piece of art. You want to continue to look at things in the piece of art.
Yeah.
See, this looks like art to me. What I do it is art, and there's only one like it, and I do need to value myself more, and I'm working on it.
Well, but what you're talking about is common because it's very, very common for artists to look at their work and not think it's anything special.
Yep.
I constantly look at my stuff and I'm like, it's all right. I just spent 20 hours on nothing, I guess. And then just move on to the next thing. Because to me, all I see are flaws. All I see is, oh God, what is that? Oh, bad color choice. What's wrong with you? Like that's really all that I don't look at most of my work. I like that one because I like the plants. I don't do plants very often. So I'm like, oh yeah, I got the flowers. Oh look, that looks good.
That's hard work.
Yeah,
man.
that's hard.
That is freaking skill to do that digitally like that. That's skill, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. I mean,
and it fills in the space. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll tell you what, I have this addiction to making art for like coffee mugs and shirts. So I do kind of think that way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing with me is that's the two things I think of. Everything I throw on a shirt, nobody buys them, but I throw them on a shirt. And then I have so many coffee mugs that I've designed that nobody cares about, but I did it. And it's like,
hold on. So we're going to have an intervention. Well, I'm going to have an intervention with the both of you.
Can I put this in my store? If I open up the store, can I get your stuff to go in the store? Because
Look here.
we have a whole store. It's a store.
So first off,
intervention.
Joe Esposito, you said you put these things on shirts and nobody buys them. Where the hell are the shirts, bro?
I believe it is ozoneartfoundry.threadless.com or threadless.com/ozoneartfoundry. My biggest problem with all of these sites is some of them want to put your username in the beginning and some want to put them afterwards.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I do have ozoneartfoundry.shop. I collect all these URLs.
There we go. I was getting ready to say, you're an IT guy. You know how to do redirects.
Yeah. Oh, I just bought a great one. JPEGDungeon.com.
Oh,
this was apparently a term used in the 90s by video game designers and never caught on.
Dude, look at what are you? Okay, I'm taking the camera off you now because we got a super chat in for Mr. Joe T. He says, I'm loving this episode. $10 super chat donation. Thank you, sir. He says, thank you. The flaws thing is true, whatever we do, like house repairs or DIY. Yeah, this is true, man. Thank you so much for that super chat, bro. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, but yeah, my intervention with the both of you first is where the hell are the shirts and how do people find them? I never knew this. And I listen to your shit pretty regularly. How come I didn't know?
Yeah, because I know.
Okay. All right. And then for you, I see you make these potheads. I know about them, but does anybody else know about them?
Not that they're for sale, that I have
why is
all of them out there, because I'm like, they're not going to want these. And then they're going to have to pay for shipping, and they don't want to pay for shipping.
Well, see,
they're going to be like, oh my God, that is too much money for
now
them.
hold on.
I
do have a question for you, though, since you said the thing about IT. Did you get the Plantastic Podheads URL?
I did.
Okay, because I went to check on it early on, and I almost bought it to send it to you, but I'm glad you got it, because I was like, well, this thing's available. So
I did, and then I said, no, right now I'm going, because it expired this year. I did have it. It just expired recently. But I said, no, right now I'm going to keep it under my brand, because Google loves me.
Yeah, you do come up really quickly. Yeah.
So it's under antpruitt.com/potheads. Yeah. And it's right there. And I'm actually on these mics every week talking about said potheads, which somebody else should be.
Well, I took photos.
Somebody else should be doing this.
I took photos of them, and I will get them out. I will get them out this time, because I've taken photos of all of them that I've had.
I mean,
the orders and everything.
You should also have him do video of you doing it, because that's the thing that I think is it's important to show people what the effort is, because it's very easy for people to assume that because you've done more than one, they have a system, it's easy, they're just slapping them together, and that's not the case. I mean, I was watching you earlier doing it, and I said I did my 5 where I talked about them, and I said this is the thing is, even if 2 people asked you for the same one, they're not going to be the same because they're not factory made. And the thing is that people are used to things being
production kind of stuff.
And not even just that. This is one of the things that really pisses me off about Etsy, which used to be very focused on handmade stuff and has now become almost a garbage site for anybody who has a 3D printer that can just run a file instead of actually making anything. But that was the thing that was valuable about it up front, was they were highlighting people who were making things by hand individually. Because that's not something. The reason you can get a $10 Mickey Mouse figure anywhere is because it's a $10 Mickey Mouse figure that got printed in a printing press.
Yep.
Disney, feel free to subsidize this podcast. I'm not insulting you. But
no, you're right. It's like they have a whole lot of them, so everybody can make one.
And that's why when people are like, well, this thing's too expensive. The hell it is. Do you know how many hours went into it?
I know that's right.
And how about shut up and give me your credit card info?
I have one in there right now. I'm constantly showing them two in here. I'm like, look at this one. This is like my favorite because it took so long. I put so much into it. It's like, will I be able to even sell it? Because I don't know if anybody will see the value in it like I do.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's so hard.
There it goes. I'm like, why is this thing not playing?
That was not me doing that. That was you.
No, but
I saw that too.
I've done stuff like this in the past of trying to watch you, and I think I did them probably 3 years ago, but I never shared it.
I've asked him to. I literally asked him
never
to
shared it.
Record me doing some of the detail work and stuff. We were talking about rapping.
But see, right now though, but people see the potheads and see the level of detail right there. But the hook was you trying to rap, but you notice I zoomed in on the pothead. But the hook was you trying to rap, hopefully to get people to click on it. That kind of thing. And then I zoomed in on the pothead. That was all on purpose. But again, that's just my weird thinking. Can continue to push your stuff out there. You know, it's yours.
I know.
It's yours.
I know. It's you. The biggest part that I know I have to do and work on and am in the process of working on it with the weight thing too is believing in myself.
There we go.
Believing in my work, believing in what I put out there and believing that it is worth it myself.
Well, I'll tell you this.
And I'm working on it.
Because I had that same problem too. And that's where the magic thing solved that. Because like the minute somebody pays you for your stuff, done. That's it. Because seriously, if somebody is willing to pay,
you already know,
then you clearly are able to create something that somebody is going to value, and therefore everything else is secondary. And that really is it. Because, I mean, what more can people do but take what they work for, unless they're really rich, in which case, hey, fine, pay extra. But I mean, and this is one of the things that I'm with like Patreon having the free tier stuff, because I wasn't even aware there was a free tier for a long time. So I had all this guilt about putting our show on Patreon because I'm like, I don't think people should have to pay to listen to me jabbering on for 3 hours. Who's going to pay for this? But the reality is some people do. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to tell you not to. And so
that's one way to look at it.
Or people have too much money, but maybe that's it. Again, people have too much money. Come on over, join anytime. But the reality is once somebody has paid you for it, there is a value there, and that's it. That's the end of the discussion at that point. Yeah. And if somebody, tries to lowball you or whatever, bye. Yeah. I've sold them for this price. You can pay this, or you can not go find some sucker who's going to give you a piece of junk. Yeah, because that's not what I'm selling.
And I've always said you have to be your biggest cheerleader. I don't care what your product is. You need to be your biggest cheerleader before someone else can be a cheerleader with you.
But that's tough. But it's tough.
It's not easy.
It's very hard to get over that hump.
It's not easy. It can also be quite humbling at times too, because you're out there yelling into the void and nobody sees what you see. But
like I'm looking at it like I would have to, for people to get the whole even sometimes I even thought, do I need to put the price that I purchased them for so that they really see?
No.
Because it's like, well, damn, that's how much she bought. That's how much a plain one costs, and doesn't even have all of this stuff. You know the
old adage of Nikes are being made in China and all of that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but Nikes cost how much when you go to buy them?
It don't matter where, as long as it's got that swoosh.
Hundreds of dollars, and they probably put, I don't know, $20 of their money into that one shoe.
Well, here's another thing. When because basically the Magic cards, what they do is any artist who does them, they send you what they call artist proofs, and they're cards that have the artwork as it was printed on the front, and they have a blank back.
Yeah.
And the idea is that you can then sell those to people, and you draw something on or there's lots of different ways to do it, but you sell these APs.
That's nice marketing.
It's number one, but the thing is, I sat there and went, what do I charge for these things?
Yeah.
Right?
See that. Mm-hmm.
And at first I was like, well, I'm not a big name artist, so I should probably, be on the lower end. And I'm thinking about it, I'm like, fuck that, man. They paid me. So I went and I looked at somebody who was higher up.
That's right.
And I didn't price it right where that person was because they were a 20-year Magic artist. I'm like, okay.
That's fair, Joe. That's fair.
Right. But I bet like maybe 15, 20%, and I said it to the first couple people, and nobody batted an eye. And I'm like,
there you go.
Because to them, you are the equal of everybody else, and that's what it's about. If you know what the value is, who gives a shit what you paid for it or what you
exactly.
Because
who cares?
I think back to 2020 when they weren't even this good, when those little ladies would walk past my little booth, because I did sell them at the farmer's market. I did try that.
Yeah.
And well, did you make them? Well, no, I just embellished them. Oh, you should really try to make them.
Okay.
It's not that's how it would. That happened so much. It was like, then it would really be worth it if you were making them yourself.
Yeah, but I guess those people never bought T-shirts ever in their life.
I don't know. They didn't buy no pothead.
Because nobody
they just talked about
is building the actual fabric. Nobody's building that stuff and then also put in the print or the design on said T-shirt. You know what I'm saying?
True.
I mean, it's very rare, I'm sure, but
they making the T-shirts, sewing them all
most people
individually.
are buying the first raw piece of goods. In your case, is that pothead?
That's my canvas.
Yeah. And then they're doing the rest on top of that. So that person or those little ladies, they were not your customer to begin with.
No, they weren't. They just...
they looky-loos. And there's plenty of looky-loos, and that's fine.
Well, you can be a looky-loo. Don't talk.
Well, but I'll tell you what your answer should be. I work with another artist who creates the original blank, and then I embellish it from there. That's not a lie.
That's true.
Somebody created that blank.
That's true.
And you're working with them because you paid them.
That's true. It came from a mold.
It's a collaboration.
That is true.
So you say it that way, and then it makes you sound even better. Could be because you're supporting another artist and they're helping you out.
Yeah.
And that ain't a lie. It ain't a lie.
No, it's not. And
it's embellishing the truth.
It sounds really good.
So what's the next step for you now?
I'm going to edit the photos and put them on at Pruitt.com/potheads with a price tag on it.
There you go. And you don't have to say / just slash.
This old school /
Yeah, just say /. Everybody knows what the slash is.
So why?
I don't know the difference between forward and backwards. I just know one leans right and one leans left.
I don't even know because what if you say / and it goes backwards?
There's only one way slashes show up in internet.
Oh, it doesn't show up this way anymore?
No, it doesn't go that way.
Or did it ever?
In internet, it never has gone that way.
Intranet, it can, but internet, it does not.
Yeah.
But I know that, everybody. I don't know what forward and back and the back one are, but I know that shit. See?
We're not talking local area networks.
So I could just say slash.
You just say slash.
Cinefractal, I know Unix. There's a movie reference. Some people will get it. Some people will.
Oops, I didn't get that one.
Unix, yes. Oh my gosh.
That's what I will do. So I will do all of them. They're all different shades and everything, and I'll do that, and just depending, and it just has the shipping. I just wish that they could be local, because I would like for people to have the plants that are in them. Because that just sets it up. But
you're gonna have to let that go.
I am.
You gotta let that go.
I am.
Well, I mean, you take the picture with the plant in there, and then you let them fill it out. I think the camera turned off.
Gotcha.
Which is fine. I have no problem with that.
That's what they do on the other places that they sell them. They put artificial plants inside the planter heads, and here, buy this.
But I would always.
But I do both. I'll just take it out.
I would also put ones you've sold and put the word "sold" on them.
I know I need to do that too,
because that tells people, oh, people are buying them. So, exactly. Which is not a lie. I bought one. See? They are being sold.
I know.
And the one I got is fucking awesome. So
I put some. I have put out some. I just need to put the other ones. Like I said, I haven't thought about it, because I'm like, nobody don't want these unless they know you and they, want to be nice.
I'm going to put a disclaimer out. I don't want this to come off as I know all and big know-it-all kind of thing.
Yeah.
So let me just say I don't.
Yeah.
But I do know that what I do know is all of these companies that we pay one way or another, be it Amazon, be it a local mom and pop or what have you, every single one of them started out with a humble beginning, some kind of way. And then they decided, you know what, I'm going to promote my shit and keep promoting it. And then I'm going to get somebody else to promote my shit. And then I'm going to pay somebody else to promote. And then it just keeps going. And either way, they believe in their product before anybody else does.
Yeah.
Oh,
I believe in it myself, but I don't know that other people do like that. But I do. So I believe in it to an extent, I guess. And I got to believe in it all the way.
Yeah, you got yeah. Because if you start doubting it, then the people that can potentially pay you will doubt it and start to lowball you. Start to
when I say this is what it is. This is what makes it difficult, is because I know how much work I put into them. And when the questions start getting asked about this and this and this and this, I'm like, what you see is what you get. It's a planter that I've spent hours in rhinestoning and embellishing and gluing and cutting and going shopping for different colors, and
I would put all of that. I would put all of that onto whatever site you have. Like, I would literally start off with a small blob of text that says, "What are plantastic potheads?" And I would put just a short paragraph that says, "These are ceramic creations that I spend typically about this hours," or you put like 20 plus hours or whatever. You specify it. So that people know what you're doing. I go around, I source all the materials. None of these are made out of a box. None of these are made to, something else I've seen. I create these on an individual level so that every pothead you get is suited to what you specifically want, and no one else will ever have one like it. You put that in there, and then you just put the pictures.
Yeah, we can add that right there.
That's what I was scared.
Yeah. We can add it right there, because right now I got it simplified.
That's the one I based the shirt on, the first one. That was it. That was the first one.
I mean, but it's out there. So,
and by the way, yeah, I saw your interview with I cannot remember the individual's name for Jamhole, and Matt. he is not that ripped. Everybody,
no.
He said that too.
I thought he was being humble. I'm like, oh no, he's really not that ripped.
I am not that ripped, but okay.
he's a little dude. He's a little dude, but I love that dude, man. Matt's my boy.
He's great.
We go way back.
That was great.
Way back. So I asked her the question. Now I'm asking you, Mr. Esposito, what's next for you?
I just keep doing what I'm doing. I mean, I just actually got an email from somebody who wants an artist proof. That's what I'm doing, because that actually is kind of its own self-promotion, because people post those. There's a Discord that I'm in. There's probably 1,000 of them. And people post them in there. Yeah. And I've been doing them, and I do them individually. Yeah. And so I do promote them periodically. Good. So I try to. I mean, I kind of what we were talking about, Phoebe. There is a part of me and I know it's not it's not the way I should be approaching it, because it's my own block where I'm like, God, just shut up about your own stuff. Jesus, nobody cares. which is nonsense. Because
Right.
there are people who care because they keep emailing me. Found it, by the way. This is not a complaint. Thank you.
Exactly.
So but it is what you're talking about. Every creative person has it. It's just which facet of this problem every person
imposter
has.
syndrome.
Yeah. And by the way, you were asking about the Italian thing. Have you gotten your answer yet?
I have not gotten the answers about the Italian thing.
You've been watching me all day. Are you kidding? You haven't gotten the answer
You didn't do
yet?
shoulders. You just been doing hands. I'm talking about the shoulders.
Oh, well, that's the exaggeration, but there is that.
I
So,
see it. I've been seeing it.
I've just been seeing
I've been
hands. I
seeing
haven't seen
hands. I don't even talk with my hands, but I see the Italian with the hands and the hands and the hands.
You can't miss it too much.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Just because it's not waving like this, but I see it.
Everyday People podcast, making all the stereotypes right.
Correct.
Pizza, oven, pizza.
Likes pizza.
Fresh.
Won't shut up. Moves the hands. Dumb opinions about stupid shit nobody cares about. I do it all.
Dude.
But we didn't have watermelon and chicken
No, we didn't
together.
have watermelon
So
and fried chicken today. No, that'll be
Hey,
next
let me
time
ask
it
the
comes
two of
by.
you because
Yeah,
it is
go ahead.
Juneteenth. We should
It is Juneteenth.
spotlight that. We haven't talked about it at all.
Yeah.
yes, it is
What
Juneteenth.
does it mean to each of you? I'm curious.
You want to go first, Phoebe?
Yes, I'll go first because it'll probably be quicker. So honestly, I didn't know. I had heard about Juneteenth growing up, but not really other than Juneteenth. I've heard that word, but that's all I heard. It wasn't until I got to be an adult, just recently, to keep it real, just in the last few years, that I know what it actually stood for. That it was, to me, it means this was what you can put in the place of my African Americans' 4th of July. It was when the slaves were said to be free, but they were really free 2 years prior than 1863. It just took them 2 years to get the information from them, other people, because they didn't want to tell them, of course.
Right.
Keep them enslaved mentally is great too. But yeah, that's what I know is the actual date of the end of slavery. And that's why it was hard for me to do all those plays that I needed to do the costuming for, because they were all before that time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to do that and that and that, because my people didn't really even exist during these times that I'm looking at. And hopefully they got the point. But yeah, that's what it means to me. Somewhat.
Very well
Might be
said.
more.
No, I agree with you on everything you said, but my take on it is, and this is going to piss some people off.
Oh, good.
I don't talk about it damn near at all, because quite frankly, I wasn't taught much on it.
Neither was I. What a surprise.
Growing up in South Carolina, the land that is everywhere you go is plantations. Former plantation slave land. Everywhere you go in South Carolina, people do all these protests. Need to boycott so and so because this used to be slave land. I'm like, we're in South Carolina.
Everything is.
It's slave land. So there's that. But I think it carries a lot more weight when our fellow Caucasians here in this country can speak about this and try to raise awareness. More so than me, the bald-headed black dude, going on the screen and saying, hey, we need to honor Juneteenth. People ain't going to pay me any attention, bro. Unless it's the Lucky Grocery Store. People ain't going to pay me any attention. But if there were more white people talking about this stuff, I think it'll carry a lot more weight. That's
or
my
just
opinion.
us that don't know a lot about it.
The fact that I didn't know squat about it,
I don't know squat
for
about
most of my life,
or a lot of things, a lot of good things.
I mean, why was it not taught to me? I'm not speaking for you, but why wasn't it taught to me when I was in school?
There's a lot that wasn't, though.
I
didn't know about the Black Wall Street. There's so many things that weren't taught to us that we got to.
And it's great that this stuff is being uncovered and put out to the wild for other people to know. But I want more white folks to come up, and if they believe in the equality, I want more white folks to come out and say, hey, this stuff needs to be known. Like the Tom Hanks interview where he talked about the Black Wall Street massacre.
He said he didn't
and
know
he
it.
had no idea about it.
He heard about all the other
And
ones
he's
he
like,
was
I'm
talking
Tom
about.
Hanks. And I ain't know nothing about this.
Yeah.
You know, that's a problem. So that's what I want. You know, so yeah, today at the time of this recording is Juneteenth Day, June 19th, 2025. And
we celebrate that.
I celebrate that, but I want more white folks to talk about it.
I'll tell you something interesting.
Okay.
I want more white folks to spread the word. I'll say that.
So this is something that I honestly don't know how to land on because I hear such different opinions on it.
Mm-hmm.
I actually thought about I'm very careful when I use any race that isn't white in some of my illustrations because I am aware of the idea of appropriation.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be appropriating anything.
Yeah.
But I also really don't know where that line is. So I had this thought to do something that said like overdue as far as Juneteenth, but I really didn't know what image to put with it because it's a black artist, I think, should do something like that.
That's the thing. You're taking a risk putting that out there.
Yeah, because
some people that's not going to be Phoebe Pruitt or Aunt Pruitt are going to come at you and be like,
and not necessarily unfairly.
Right. Yeah.
But why is it okay the other way around then? Don't we have black artists that do white art?
No, what he's saying is appropriation. Okay. So we think about music, you know, and how people really get upset about the state of rock and roll and jazz and so forth. Okay. So now he's saying, take this art of his and talk about the importance of Juneteenth that's going to honor black people, you know, and potentially some black people are going to take offense to him doing that and saying, hey, somebody else should get recognized for this art, not you. That's what he's saying.
And I don't necessarily disagree. I do think that there is, and this is just my opinion, so anybody can disagree with this, it's fine. But I don't get as upset as some people at the appropriation thing. There's some people who are like, what, you can't do any art that isn't, you know, your own people. Well, okay, that's not what they're saying. Yeah. Number one, you are boiling that down so that you can just get angry about something that you just don't want to engage with.
That's the line. Exactly. That is the line, unfortunately. And that's the nature. That's the nature of our society nowadays, because everybody is hyper angry and hypersensitive about things. And I don't always agree with it, but
yeah. But on the other side,
sometimes I see where they're coming from.
I've had people say things like, because I did an image that was of, it was a black cosmonaut. Mm-hmm. And I did that.
Shout out to Tanya Wyman, by the way, speaking of cosmonauts. Okay, sorry.
Oh, no, I love space stuff, Tanya. I love it. But that was based on Sun Ra, who is one of the most wonderful individuals you could ever read about. If you don't know who Sun Ra is, go look him up. Go listen to his music. That dude was amazing. But I did it based on this movie, and I actually worried about posting it because I'm like, I'm selling a T-shirt with it.
Yeah.
Is that crossing that line? I mean, right. I know, or at least I hope that it would come across that it's a celebration of one of the most wonderfully creative and weird people who ever lived.
Yeah, but why is this white man or Italian man profiting?
I don't know. That's tough.
That's what
I'm
saying.
If he has the eye, if he has the eye and he's seeing it with his eye, that's how he sees it, and if it's great, then I don't know.
That's exactly what we're saying.
That's like me,
and we don't know.
I'm making white female planter heads.
Yeah,
and it takes me. I'm in there mixing paint so that they don't look green and all these different things. Yeah. And but you know.
Oh, Cinderfractal.
I don't know a lot about
There's
that.
There's the word. Thank you, Cinderfractal. Slippery slope.
Slippery slope.
Thank you, Cinderfractal.
And I'll be honest, some of why I felt comfortable with this because I'm not a big time artist. I'm not making millions. Yeah. If I was, and I posted that, and I was selling a mint.
Yeah, somebody's trying to cancel you.
Yeah, well, not even. No. Well, not even. I mean, sure, but I would understand if a struggling black artist who's been making Sun Ra art for 20 years.
I see.
Made nothing, and then some. You know,
yeah, I see what you
comes
mean.
along and makes $2 million off it. right?
Gotcha.
So yeah, Joe T, I'm the same way. You can tell. It would be if I was to try to sit here and talk like this, you just see my arms just like struggling.
Joe T in the chat says, "I couldn't talk if you held my hand."
Right. I mean, this is true. It's actually really hard for me to sit when I do my show. I'm standing the whole time.
Yeah,
I
you
move.
do stand, yeah.
To sit like this is actually really weird because I feel like I'm sinking. But
I want to stand up too, just because it stretches you out.
well, there's that too.
No, y'all can keep that.
But
I'm going to stay at this damn desk.
But that is the thing that I really did struggle with that one. And there's another one I did that I posted, which is I did I saw this picture of some young black, I think, hairdresser.
Yeah.
Had the wildest hair. And I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is a fucking look.
Yeah.
So I took that and I made an interpretation of the X-Men character Bishop where I had the M on his face and I had all this like Kirby crackle around him and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And there too, I'm sitting there going, well, if he were to see that and I'm selling this shirt and he emailed me and said, hey, I don't appreciate that, I think I'd have to take it down.
Yeah.
Because it is, I mean, I don't know that you would necessarily, because I don't think he's a celebrity or anything. He just happened to be in this magazine. I saw.
There are rules on name, image, and likeness.
Yeah.
You know, there are rules on that. So
So I would hope that he would see it and say, wow, holy shit, this guy made me into Bishop because Bishop's fucking awesome.
Yeah, but you don't know.
But I don't know.
you don't know.
And it's tricky.
Yeah.
And again, I think one of the reasons I'm sort of happy I'm not like a superstar artist is because I'm like, okay, well, I would hope that people would be more understanding than if I'm sitting out here, you know, making $2 million.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the what do you call it? The Obama poster that the guy basically did a quick Photoshop filter on.
Yeah, with all it's just like 3 colors. Yeah. Yeah, but that thing is freaking world renowned.
Yeah.
But whatever.
But because it's Barack Obama,
yeah, it's because
I don't think anybody cares because like, hey, he was president.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't think he's going to get miffed about a poster that probably was something that energized people.
Yeah.
But if he was a small starving artist who'd been trying to sell similar prints, and then suddenly this thing took off, would that discussion be the same? I don't think so. And it shouldn't be.
Oh, dude.
It's tricky, but there is a point where you have to say, you know, there are images where, you know, there's times where I've thought of reaching out to people and saying, hey, I will give you the money from this, but I think we need to promote it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how people receive that either, so I haven't done it. But I'm just like, you know, if somebody actually got upset, I wouldn't have any problem donating money and that type of thing because there is a responsibility there if you are utilizing something.
That could be something you get hit with is if you're making sales off of these black people or black likenesses or what have you, you should donate to the United Negro College Fund a couple percentage or something, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That stuff could happen, you know, because we're a litigious
Fortunately,
society.
I haven't made too many sales on them, so it's not been a concern.
We're a litigious society, you know.
I wish I...
You know, but...
There is no one answer either. I mean, there is no one answer.
There is
no, I wish I had the money to buy you out of your art.
Thank you. I hope you get that money very soon. Very soon.
Seriously, it'd be like, okay, here you go.
Me too.
I just need this, and this. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, okay, I can do it. That's what I'm ready. I'm ready to get to that. So you can make all the black art.
I'm ready to take that money.
You can make all the black art of me. I will take it.
Yeah, I like how you're thinking. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's what's up. Folks, this is everyday people doing everyday shit.
Awesome show.
Talking everyday shit.
Got another hour to go, right?
Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for being here in the live chat. It's been great seeing this chatter going on in here from Cinder Fractal, from Clarence Brown, from Joe T. Oh, there's no John Helm tonight. My son was up in here. Good to see you. Thank y'all for being here tonight. I'm going to pause for one quick second and then we're going to close the show with a quick story. Because Joe, no, we don't do 3-hour shows.
I was going to say, it ain't me telling the story then if it's quick. So
we don't do 3-hour podcasts like you do, man. Son of a mother, dude. Good grief.
But you stop in between, don't you? You take breaks in between?
Are you serious? No.
I don't edit. I don't do any of that crap. We go beginning to end solid. Because we're full of shit.
And it could be 2 hours, and it could be 3.5 hours, and I'm like, oh my god, what are these dudes talking about?
For about 4 or 5 months.
More than you is who?
It's me and Lando. It's my best friend. Yeah. My best friend for over 20 years, who is so much better a friend to me than I've ever been to him. I mean, you want to talk about somebody.
Shout out to you, Lando.
He literally, when our first dog died, and I was a complete wreck. He's like, do you need me to fly out there? Mind you, he had young kids.
Yeah.
And he said, tell me if you need me to come out there. And I said, no, because I knew he had young kids. But no hesitation.
Yeah.
None.
The thought, man. The thought.
I wish I could tell you I honestly thought I'd do the same for him. I don't know. I hope I do if it ever happens. But the fact that he instantly said, do you need me to fly across the country? Yeah. Because your dog died, which some people be like, get over it. It's your dog.
Yeah.
Come on. It's not a kid.
Yeah.
Which it was to me.
It is.
It is a child.
Instant response. There is nothing I will ever say negative about him, except for some of his taste in some movies. But that's okay. That's minor shit. But as far as a person.
And he's also an author, correct?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. He's struggling with the author thing because he's got that frustration where he doesn't know if there's a point. And I keep telling him, I'm like, just keep doing it.
Yeah, keep doing it because the AI stuff's not going to beat him out.
That's what I'm saying.
Tell him that because the AI stuff is so bad.
I know.
It's so bad. Anyway, we're going to pause for a quick break because I do try to be somewhat professional with this shit. Stay right there, folks. Everyday people doing everyday shit. We'll be right back after this. And we are back. Everyday people doing everyday shit, hanging out with the full studio. Not just myself and Queen Pruitt, but also Ozone Nightmare himself. Mr. Joe Esposito is in here with us.
Spell check your URLs, kids.
Having a great conversation in the break that will only be available to our Patreon members. So, the live chat, there's a couple things going on in there. First off, Mr. Clarence Brown says, very much enjoyed your Batman discussion.
Oh, yeah. Did you watch it?
I watched it again and I enjoyed it more.
Fucking A, I told you.
I enjoyed it more.
Yes.
It was your insight put me over the edge, man. Yes. I enjoyed it more. Still a little bit long.
It is long.
Still a little bit long, but it was good. And I like the end there with the Joker.
I don't.
I like that. It just
I think it went on too long.
Sort of a foreshadow, but again, it was just a little long. Yeah. And another note in here from the chat from Cinder Fractal says, time for the beautiful brown man in the light blue vest photo.
The light blue vest photos.
Say, Mr. Pruitt, have you had any more encounters at a supermarket where somebody actually appreciated how you look?
Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
You had something else?
No, she's talking about the Cinder Fractal was talking about the Ethos commercials, that vest I was wearing in that. You remember?
Oh, yeah.
So let me tell y'all about Father's Day. And this is a quick story, but it just made me laugh. And I never said anything until about an hour ago. I was telling Joe about it when he was here. So it just went out of my head. But Father's Day rolls around. And Father's Day, in my opinion, most people think is overrated because it ends up being just another Sunday for most.
It's not
bullshit. Appreciate your parents.
But what I'm saying is the dads. It still ends up being just another Sunday for the dads. It does.
I'm gonna stop trying then.
Hold on, what did you do? Because
I straight up.
Hold on. No,
oh my God! So I called him at home.
Yeah.
And I said I was at work. I said, can you come up and get a pedicure? I will do a pedicure for you at the job. He gives me an excuse.
There was no
and
excuse.
I was like, okay, you did give me an excuse.
What did I say? Say what
you was like, this is how this comes.
Exactly what I said.
Okay, hush.
This is great content, everybody. Go on.
So I call him. First, he didn't answer the phone forever. Then he finally answered. I said, are you busy? My hands were in something. Okay, well, I want you to come and get a pedicure. Oh, well, I got to go out to the grocery store later. Okay, well, what time do you want to come up here? Well, is it on the house or are you paying for it? I'm paying for it because it's my Father's Day present to you. This is all I can do. well, if that's the case, then you could just come home and we can just go over to the pool.
Hold on. Can
and
I
that kind of thing. So, but I
ask a
straight
question?
up tried to get him to come and get a pedicure. He didn't want to. Those are the two excuses. He didn't want me to pay for it, and he didn't want. Oh, and there was another excuse. I don't want you to have to do it because your body hurts. You have ailments and whatnot, and I don't want to put your body through that. That was another excuse. Now
okay. Go ahead, Joe. We've heard the first arguments here.
I'm going to call out a mistake on your part, Mr. Pruitt, which is a rare one. But since I make so many, it's appropriate I get one. The fact that you said, is it on the house or are you paying for it? No matter what, the value of her time means she was paying for it, on the house or not. The effort has a worth.
Okay.
Therefore.
All right.
And I was trying to do something. It wasn't a whole lot I could do, but that's something that I was ready to do. But he's like, no. So if that's the case, you can come home and spend time. He didn't say spend time with me. He went a roundabout. And I just...
There was no roundabout. What exactly did I say?
He said, if that's the case, I'd rather you just come here. We can go over to the hot tub or something because it might be open yet.
Did not say that.
Now,
okay. So, but anyway,
did not say that.
He gave me excuses as to why not. And then he made it seem like if that's the case, and I said, I don't have anything to do at work. That's another thing. I needed people on the book. Didn't have nobody on the book. So I was trying to get him to come up.
That's not what I said.
You might not have said those exact words, but is that not what not what happened though? Is that not what the outcome? What were the exact words then?
I'd rather hang out with you at the pool or the hot tub if the hot tub is open. I'd rather hang out with you at the pool or the hot tub if the hot tub is open. That's not an excuse. That is, I want to hang out with you.
Well,
that's
don't say
excuse.
that it's just a typical day for the dads for Father's Day. Because it is not a typical day for me to call you and ask you to come up to the casino and I perform a pedicure on you.
I know you're lying because your eye tearing up over there.
My eye tears up. Ain't got nothing to do with lies. Those are not lies.
Because it is a typical day because I would rather spend time with you hanging out. I would. So yeah, typical Sunday.
So
Joe,
his typical, if he don't get the $500,000 items that he has on his list in Amazon, I guess it's not.
Exactly.
Then that would make it a non-typical one if he got
like
those.
The pizza oven Mr. Esposito got. He hit that pinnacle and now he's like, okay, cool, we're good. You ain't gonna top that ever. But I haven't had that yet. So I'd rather have time. Why did that beep like that?
I heard a beep, but it came back. So
it's still going. Okay.
So what I was gonna say is I do understand on the other side if my wife was doing pedicures, for example, I'd say, I don't want you to do anything related to your job. Don't worry about the camera thing. It's fine. I don't want you to do a single thing that you equate with work. Mm-hmm. I would appreciate the favor, but that's your job. I'd rather you come home and spend the time. So I do get that part of it too, because that would be my reaction. So I see both sides of it. Because
the typical Father's Day, or that it doesn't really matter, or it's just another day.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah. It is another
because it's another day.
It is another day for me because it's how I try to have my peace in a day.
Oh,
that's it. That's all I'm saying. I don't have to have you doing a pedicure for me. And this is Father's Day or not. I don't want you doing pedicures because I know what it does to you physically.
And that's the other side of it. That's the thing.
I know what it does to you physically. I don't want no part of that. So this is not excuses. Yeah. My preference is I'd rather hang out with you.
No, this is how Sam is too. This is how my wife is too, because she'll look at it and say, I was trying to do something nice for you and you didn't want any part of it. And not seeing that my end of it was, but I hate that you have to work.
Exactly.
I don't like that part of it. So,
exactly.
But it is one of those things where it's just the two different mindsets.
Yeah.
And it's, you're trying to reconcile it. And I know I'm not speaking to my, here you go.
Thank you.
So, yeah. I can like feel the like,
talking to your damn mic.
So I'm talking to the mic. I'm not used to having a microphone this close to my mouth. So But I do see the two sides of it because, yes, on the one side, you're like, I'm trying to do you a favor here on a day you're claiming isn't special. And you're telling me, nah, come home and we'll do what we always do.
And but that's the thing. It's not an always.
But on the other side, it's...
it could be an always thing, but it's not. If he ain't feeling it, then it's not.
But to me, it's I'm the same way. It's like, well, just get done with your work and get home.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather just be here with you.
Yeah.
So, no, I understand.
And I came home and we watched TV shows that he likes, which that is typical for him. He's going to watch what he wants to watch on the TV.
I earned it.
And when he wants to go, if he wants to go to the pool, then he will go. But if he don't want to, he won't.
I'm a simple man.
If I want to go and I want him to go with me, he won't if he don't want to go. So, yeah, that's typical.
Joe says, "We, the mouse in my pocket." Wait, what?
That's the we is in what? Who's the we that I'm talking about? I get that.
Me too.
I got you.
I'm always taking we with me.
Oh God.
I'm always taking we with me. There's a show title. Because now I'm just imagining a little jar that's in the car all the time.
I'm always taking we with me.
I mean, technically, we all are. Your bladder does have a function, so it's not untrue.
Oh my God, this show is so full of tangents. And
what was your Father's Day story?
I was trying to tell the freaking Father's Day experience.
See, I brought it back, everybody.
Oh,
the Father's Day experience, and again, this is brief. So I treated it as just a typical day. I needed to go to the grocery store and get stuff for dinner Sunday evening. I don't even remember what I bought, but I knew I had to go to the grocery store. So I went to the grocery store, grabbed all the stuff that I needed, went and got in line because we've said on the show before, I don't do self-checkout because it's not a discount on the groceries. Why am I going to bag my own groceries, you know? So I get in line, and of course, since it's, quote, a holiday, there's a lot of people in there. So the lines are semi-long. I'm in the line, and I get to the edge of the little... whatever that tray is, the little rolling tray that you put your groceries on.
Conveyor belt.
Ooh, I
knew a vocabulary word.
That's good. But can you spell it?
Can you spell it though? But so I pulled my stuff out of the bag and I put it on there, and I'm just standing there waiting for the next person to go on. And then this woman, she says, "Sir, I can get you over here." And I said, "Well, I've already taken all my shit out right here, and I can wait." No, I can wait. So there
was nobody behind you.
Oh, there were people behind me.
Then you hear the call button beep. Sir, I'm right here. Aisle 2. Right here.
I'm surprised the person behind you wasn't like, but I don't have my shit on the conveyor belt. I can come over there.
So I grabbed all my stuff off of the conveyor belt, put it in my bag, and walked over there and got in line with this lady at the next register, and she took care of
the total was nothing.
But that was my Father's Day experience at the grocery store that we all know and love. That clearly loves me.
I was going to say. I mean.
So was it the same store?
It was good old Lucky. Good old Lucky. But yeah, there's people behind me. I still went before them.
I'm glad that they took that typical Father's Day moment feeling away from you and let you have your little...
Again, dear, that's not a typical Father's Day. That's just a typical day.
Excuse me. A typical day. A typical day in the life of Aunt Pruitt being a brown man around here.
Get it. Beautiful brown man.
I was going to say, you're missing the word.
Sorry.
Get it right.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Now we're going to get out of here. We've been going way too long on this show.
God,
Lord have mercy. Oh, my God.
It really doesn't.
It doesn't.
Joe T.
I just think about you driving.
Joe T in the house says, agreed. I'm good with my life every day. I don't let my wife give me things for Father's Day. She ain't my child. Oh, damn. I like that.
Shots
fired.
I like that,
That is another thing, too,
like
Joe
that,
T.
Joe.
I thought about that, too. And I was even going to reach out to my sons and be like, what y'all going to do? Did y'all say something, give something? No, I didn't. Because I had a guest. And that's another reason why I felt the need to do something. Because I had a guest, bring her husband in there. He got his pedicure. And, they were going to do all of their stuff. So I was... in my little feelings, like maybe I should do something too, even though he ain't my daddy.
Yeah,
my daddy is not here anymore.
Joe T, you said it right. So
boom.
Thank you so much, my man.
That's the way I will look at it going forward.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
And he did, actually, Jacob did the same thing for you that he did for me.
Which was?
He cleaned the kitchen.
Hey, that ain't nothing.
Oh, okay.
Because he knows I will take a cleanup in a plant. Well, he says that even the plants is overthinking. I'm like, it's not. Any kind of plant, I'm going to love it and welcome it in. And it's a part of my crew.
Lord have mercy.
I don't think I've turned any plants down. I don't think I've ever said
Isaiah making me the soup bowl of wine.
Yeah, he got his in.
Yeah, outstanding. All right, folks. We're going to get up out of here. This is Everyday People Doing Everyday Shit. Thank y'all for checking us out each and every week here on whatever podcast app you enjoy, as well as on YouTube, streaming live and replaying every week. You can support the show by, number one, just telling somebody else about it and hitting all the algorithmic stuff on there, the thumbs up, the likes, and doing the comments. Feel free to leave your comments in the YouTube video because I'll definitely see them there. I'm not going to see them very often on social medias. But yeah, check us out there, as well as feel free to join the Patreon extended family. That's our little community over there. You go to patreon.com/Aunt Pruitt. Again, it's patreon.com/Aunt Pruitt, and join for free if you want to, or join one of our paid tiers. We have an economically conscious tier because we know times are not very easy out there in these streets. So
Super chat
we take that. And I just see a super chat just popped up in here. Boom! That's another way to support the show. Cinder Fractal with the $10.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Cinder Fractal.
With the $10 super chat donation there. Thank you so much, dear. We really do appreciate that. But yeah, you can do super chats live in the show, or you can do them in the comments as a super thanks if you want to contribute that way as well. All is appreciated. Shout out to Miss Queen Pruitt over there. Actually, no, hold on. I do need to
cancel the shout out. Shout out has been terminated.
I gotta do something. I need to call this person out because it was heartwarming, and it just showed that this show isn't just right here for California.
Oh, is this the Australian guy?
Yeah. And
that was great.
It really did warm my heart. So let me see. Damn, it was from last week. Whoop, scroll back up. Scroll there. I know this is great radio. Scroll up.
I can't sing.
Where is it?
I can't sing.
Scroll up.
While Mr. Pruitt is scrolling in the background, let me give you a traffic update on the 405. Things are still backed up all the way from the Altamont up to, that's the only town I can think of off the top of my head. So
damn it. Okay.
He looks a little stressed.
Well, yeah. I'm going to go here because I thought I had it in the Patreon community. I'll go over here. All right. So this is in Blue Sky. So showing my screen now. Blue Sky. This is a social media platform that I don't really use. But for whatever reason, I got a bunch of notifications, and I noticed that they were all coming from this one person. And their handle is oldman-d.bsky.com. Social Blue Sky. Old Man D is his name. And so I said, look, sir, I don't read here or post here, but I'd like to know more about you because I appreciate you listening to the show. It means a lot. And he says, hi, hello, Aunt. My name is Frank. I am a 68-year-old old Australian who is retired. Don't be worried about all the replying. I understand this is not your social media of choice. I don't usually do any social media, but I started here to support this platform. I listened to you on Apple Podcasts as my wife gave me her old iPhone. You sound like a great father and husband. I enjoy trying to understand how people of different countries live. Australia is different. Take care. But he has replied on a lot of different things, and it's all been really thoughtful stuff like that. And I just wanted to give him a shout out to Old Man D on Blue Sky.
Oh, that's so nice.
And just thank you, my man, for listening to the show.
Old Man D, join the Patreon if you're not already there, so that
and if
the
you
community's in there.
Right. If you want to join the Patreon community for free, just pop on over there because it's way more entertaining over there than on social media, for real. Joe Esposito, thank you again for being here, brother. Where do we find
you for being here?
Sure.
Where do we find you?
I think ozonenightmare.com is the easiest thing because there's the art link and there's the podcast link. So I just give out the one address. You start there and you choose your own adventure. If you want to hear more of this garbage coming out of my face every week, then choose the podcast one. If you just want to look at pretty pictures and not ever hear me again, understandable, then you can choose the art link. And that way you can enjoy what you want. Enjoy with giant quotes around it.
He is great. He's great.
Thanks for having me.
Talented.
Because I've almost dragged this to 2 hours almost, everybody.
Yep.
Yes.
Boy.
Whoa, we thought it was going to be 3, so we did good.
Yeah, we did good.
Well, now that you bring it up, we should start it.
No. Queen Pruitt, where are we going to find you and the stuff that you're doing with the art that you're creating? Please tell everybody right now. This is where you start to turn the corner.
At Pruitt.com/ Potheads.
There you go.
And the next few weeks, I don't even know if I'll be on the show because we'll have dress rehearsals and got a lot of stuff coming up. We already started
Had we recorded on our regular Wednesday day yesterday, you wouldn't have been available.
No.
So I mean that there's
perhaps
that
Mr. Pruitt can recruit somebody from the local grocery store to come on and talk about how beautiful he is for 30 minutes.
That would be so gross.
Wouldn't be that tough, I don't think.
I was gonna say it's not a matter of could. I can.
It would be. They would be so gross. Just gross. It's okay.
There's a difference between the two.
There's a difference between all of it is because, he talks about these people talking about the beautiful black man or whatever. I get looks too. I just don't talk about it.
You do.
I get looks too, but they're not the type you're talking about. I promise you.
But don't nobody treat me like him. I'm sorry, we don't do that. Well, you do it for him. Oh, are you talking about the beautiful?
Oh, do you know him? Do you know him?
I should have said, no, I don't know who you're talking about. I want this chicken. I'm not talking about him.
It's outstanding. Don't hate. Folks,
I don't know him. I've got him locked down. So back off and give me the goddamn chicken.
Thank you. That's what I should have said.
Folks, thank y'all again. We will continue this show next week. I'm not sure what day, if it'll be next Wednesday or Thursday. I have to look at the calendar. Fortunately, I'm looking for some stuff to happen because the agent has had me doing a lot of auditions here recently. So they are definitely trying to get themselves paid, and I am grateful for that. So hopefully something will come up soon. And just stay active in the Patreon, and I'll make sure everybody knows when the show is going to go on air and go from there. Do something good for yourself. Do something good for someone else. Know that it's okay to love you some you and use that cough button if you got them. Y'all take it easy. See you later.
And I did.
I know. Just
agent. I thought you said that Asian. I was like, wow, that's very specific. Oh, no, we meant agent. Got it.
That's the Southern drawl coming out, bro. Southern drawl.